Joining us now is Democratic Senator Chris Coons of Delaware at Biden headquarters in Wilmington tonight. Senator, thank you so much for being with us. So walk me through it. So maybe you pick up Arizona, you lose Florida, maybe you lose Georgia, maybe you lose North Carolina. What's the likely or most the shortest path to 270 for Biden?
Well, Lester, as you just pointed out, there's several paths for Joe Biden to be elected our next president. But we have to remember, over 100 million Americans voted early, whether in person or by mail. And as Chuck was just pointing out, there are different rules in different states for whether they have already counted and are already reporting that early vote, or whether they're just beginning counting it and won't report it for several days. I'm hearing encouraging things about Ohio, about Arizona, about Iowa. So I think there still remain several paths for Joe Biden tonight, while President Trump has a very narrow path. And frankly, I'd rather be in our camp than his tonight. We have to remember that every vote needs to be counted before we conclude this election. Vote counts happen at the state and county level, and we have a number of states and counties that have already indicated they won't be done counting votes for several days.
Senator Coons, with the exception possibly of Arizona, it looks more and more like Joe Biden is going to have to rely on that blue wall, turning Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania back into the Democratic corner. How do you feel about what you've heard from your sources on the ground about how the industrial Midwest is playing out for Joe Biden?
Well, I've been texting and calling with my Senate colleagues as well as local elected officials and organizers in several states today, the ones you just referenced, and I'm optimistic. I think we're ultimately going to have a great outcome for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They've had the right message from the beginning of this campaign about bringing people together, getting us out of this pandemic, and building back stronger our economy. But we just have to be patient and make sure that every vote gets counted in what ultimately may be one of several paths towards a victory by Joe Biden tonight or tomorrow.
The Trump campaign threw out Minnesota as a possible pickup for them. Do you see that in the cards? Is it something you're worried about?
I really don't. What I'm hearing from Minnesota elected officials I've touched base with is that although Minnesota is a state where you can show up and vote at the last moment, they don't see anything that's happened on the ground today that suggests to them that Donald Trump may unexpectedly take Minnesota.
Senator, we have to say congratulations to you. You won your race. Turns out you also had a campaign to run. But what about what's going on in the Senate? I know Democrats had high hopes of taking back this Senate, but some of the races are not turning out as expected. In particular, North Carolina, Tom Tillis, the Republican incumbent, appearing to do better than many expected.
Well, so far I've been encouraged by the outcomes in Colorado and likely in Arizona. I'm sorry for my colleague, Doug Jones, who you've called to not be reelected, but he's done a great job in the Senate. And I think there's other news tonight that is encouraging in Georgia and in other states. But in several states that we expect to pick up Senate seats in, it is still too close to call.
Right.
Senator Coons, good to talk to you. Thanks so much for your time.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.